The heat is on in Saskatchewan. How hot will it get and how long could it last? Altered plans, what prairie couples are willing to put off to own their own home. And the life-saving donation that's already making a positive impact.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the heat. Saskatchewan is expected to see temperatures into the 30s the next few days. Keenan Sorokon has more on what's being called a heat wave settling in for the week.
It seems like we've gone from winter to summer.
From slush to sweat, the snow is gone and the heat wave is here in Saskatchewan.
We have had heat waves into the 30s in May, but it's really that extreme difference between snow to extreme warmth.
9 days ago, many people in southern and central Saskatchewan watched snow fall to the ground, with temperatures hovering around the freezing mark. Now, many places will see highs of 30 for much of the week, with some areas expected to see close to 40 degrees by Thursday and Friday.
So, yeah, we are expecting potentially to expand those heat warnings as the week progresses.
Not only is this surge of heat unusually early, it's the warm temperatures hanging around in the evening that's concerning emergency preparedness organizations.
When it's staying at like plus 15 overnight, is just locations aren't having a chance to cool. The air temperature's not having a chance to cool. So that heat just feels even more oppressive. It's more impactful. And so that's why we're really concerned.
First responders say seniors living in condos and apartments without air conditioning are most at risk.
If you have relatives or friends or neighbors who are living in those kind of conditions, reach out and check on them.
The heat warning is in effect from Estevan all the way to Meadow Lake. Temperatures this week are at least 10 degrees higher than seasonal norms for this time of year. And while these could be the hottest days of the year, Desjardins says El Nino conditions arriving in the next month or two could mean more days like this across Saskatchewan.
I wouldn't discount that it could happen again this summer.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
As the temperatures soar, the city of Saskatoon says all 22 of its outdoor spray pads will open for the season on Friday. The spray pads will operate daily from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. During the week in June, spray pads near school grounds will turn off 5 minutes before recess and lunch breaks and resume 5 minutes after breaks are over. The Ernest Linder Park will be closed for the season for park upgrades. Brighton Core Park and Thornton Park will be seeing delays for openings due to repairs. With high temperatures in the forecast, the city of Prince Albert has declared a fire ban for all areas north of the river within city limits. Effective today at 2 p.m., the ban applies to Little Red River Park, Hazeldale, Nordale, and all properties east of Little Red River Park to city limits. No open fires are allowed, but for cooking and heating, people can use self-contained heaters, gas barbecues, propane fire pits, and charcoal in an approved fire pit. The ban does not affect recreational use of fire pits like the ones at Kinsman Park. South of the river fires are allowed in accordance with city bylaw. Well, Jeff, it is not that common that we see such high temperatures in May.
It really is a roasty and toasty situation, and given what we had, not so long ago with snow and cold conditions, this is quite a change indeed. And one more thing, if you're going to MacArthur Park for the spray park there, please don't take your cake. It's not going to be good. It'll melt. Anyhow, we've got ourselves a pretty stable pattern for the most part. Big high pressure ridge and the any kind of active, really active weather tends to arc over the province. Although there is this low coming up from the States, could impact parts of southern Saskatchewan. It looks like it's already starting to do that. But for the most part, the big deal is going to be the heat and it's going to be the wind. And we'll talk about those big numbers later on.
A new survey has found nearly half of respondents in the prairies would skip a wedding in order to buy a home. CTV's Stacey Hine has more on the ring versus real estate dilemma.
It's a question of marriage versus mortgage. As costs rise, some couples are saying I do to smaller weddings in order to buy a home. For those currently planning their big day in Saskatoon, it's a decision they know all too well.
We are thinking of a smaller wedding, like max 100 people, or just eloping, just because we actually don't own a house yet and things are expensive out there, especially in the wedding industry.
We already own a house, luckily. We lived with our parents for a long time, but I definitely understand why people are choosing to do a smaller wedding because it's crazy expensive.
One Saskatoon officiant says he's seeing more elopements, with couples focusing on everyday costs rather than large ceremonies.
I have a lot more couples just come to my house and we sign on the kitchen table and then they're going off to a destination, or they'll get around to doing a wedding. But right now they're more focused on, the day-to-day stuff.
Wedding planning platform Your Wedding Atlas estimates the average cost of a wedding in the Prairie region ranges between $25,000 and $30,000. After surveying about 1,700 adults across the country, Royal LePage says about 48% of respondents in Saskatchewan and Manitoba said they would skip a wedding or scale back their plans to afford a down payment on a home. One Regina real estate agent says it's a trend she's noticing too.
They're pushing the wedding date off to a further date, looking at purchasing the home first.
Leah Graham says limited housing inventory and changing priorities are playing a role.
Traditionally, you start off small and you get a condo, or you would get a small home that needs repairs.
Graham says with renovation and repair costs adding up, many buyers now see more value in a home they can stay in long term. For some couples, that means putting home ownership ahead of a big wedding. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Charred and molten artifacts pulled from the ruins of a Saskatchewan wildfire are on display at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. They are part of an art show staged by Denair Beach residents called Transformed by Fire. As Wayne Mantika reports, it shows how lives were changed when the wolf fire ripped through their community.
Losing everything was devastating for Denair Beach residents touched by the massive wolf fire.
It destroyed 240-ish homes, cabins, and basically there was so little left.
Some residents returned to sift through the ruins of their property and found that a few items had survived. They have become part of an art show at the Legislative Building called Transformed by Fire.
And, that Transformed by Fire sort of talks about the items in the fire that were changed and transformed, but it also talks about our lives that were transformed and changed, and our whole environment. Our homes, our forest, all the environment around us, it has changed.
Some members of the legislature attended the show's opening at the Cumberland Gallery. They understood what the artists were trying to portray.
It's also the time to rebuild and a time for renewal, and for people just to come to terms with what has happened and to look forward to the new.
For some Denair Beach residents, the show is part of the healing process.
It was very emotional, but it was also kind of cleansing a little bit, trying to speak through my artwork rather than my voice.
Some Denair Beach residents hope their show at the Legislative Building will help government and the public understand the devastation caused by wildfires and the need to be well prepared. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
It's Saskatchewan Mining Week, and for the first time, cameras and journalists were welcomed inside Nutrien's pilot plant. CTV's Laura Woodward went to check it out.
And our screens here have 2 decks.
This is the Nutrien pilot plant, a Saskatoon facility where engineers test new ways to make potash production more efficient, safe, and cost-effective. The work done here aims to improve the quality of potash used to make fertilizer for farmers.
So this space gives us the opportunity to de-risk projects. We can run experiments here, we can run mini circuits here without disrupting the operations, which can have real impacts if we shut down production, right? And so this is a safe space to test that kind of stuff and to do those projects.
The facility includes labs, testing areas, and workshops.
It's really cool and unique that there's a mini-scale mill in here, and you can do so many cool, innovative things with it.
One of the most important areas is the flotation cell, where potassium chloride is separated from the rest of the mined material to create potash fertilizer. New control settings and technology can be tested here before they're introduced at Nutrien's 6 Saskatchewan mines. The pilot plant played a major role during mine expansions in 2010, refining new equipment before it went into operation.
And we brought them here, optimized the design over the course of 6 months to a year, and worked with our vendors, and we were able to install something back at the sites before they needed them to actually start producing potash.
And as technology evolves, so does the search for the next big improvement in potash production.
You know, there's still so much to learn and so much to discover. So I think it's exciting to be a part of that possibility.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A group of women and their supporters gathered outside Regina Police Headquarters today demanding accountability. They feel trust has been lost after multiple officers have used police resources to gain information on women for personal use. Sierra D'Souza butts on the petition they delivered.
Women and allies demanding for greater justice and police accountability.
It's not fair to the women who have been victimized by this, who are dealing with, I've met some of the victims. It is lifelong trauma.
In connection to 3 separate cases of breaches of trust and privacy by Regina police members in recent years, a group of advocates presented an open letter and petition to the Board of Police Commissioners calling for an independent review of the Regina Police Service.
They'll never be the same again. As the one victim said, she'll never feel safe in this community again.
These are serious offenses where people are being victimized by the Regina Police Service members. This is not to cast judgment on all RPS officers.
The demand for action comes shortly after RPS Constable Clinton Duquette was charged under Saskatchewan's Privacy Act, in addition to former RPS officer Robert Semenchuk, who pleaded guilty to a breach of trust, as well as the termination of former police chief Farouk Sheikh due to inappropriate communications. The Board of Police Commissioners says its focus is to implement a number of actions over a period of time to help build trust back between police and the community.
We've all been notified that these cases need to be taken very seriously and that accessing information for not bona fide reasons will not be tolerated.
Davies says any new allegation of a privacy breach will automatically be sent to the Crown for review.
It was a very important day and meaningful to hear from those folks to talk about the impacts and really highlight why we have to always continuously be looking at our service and how we maintain and continue to build that public trust in the community.
Under the Police Act, Chief Davies says the disciplinary measures have been concluded in relation to Constable Clinton Duquette. Until his court proceedings are decided, he will remain on the force. Duquette's next court appearance is at Provincial Court in June. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
A 20-year-old woman from Saskatoon left the comforts of home earlier this month to help with the war effort in Ukraine. As Carla Shinkirk found out, she set her mind to humanitarian work and is spending her summer break making a difference at a time when attacks in the country are intensifying.
Yes. Thaisa Rudy has been in Ukraine for about 2 weeks.
It's always been in the back of my mind to come to Ukraine. So worked a whole bunch, saved up my money, and I'm super fortunate that I have such a huge support system at home.
A sociology student at the University of Saskatchewan, she paid more than $5,000 to spend her summer helping Ukrainian Patriot, an international aid group started by a woman originally from Saskatoon when the war began.
I have a bucket list of everything I want to achieve in my life, and going to Ukraine was #1 on that list and has been forever. You just want belly rubs?
One of her first assignments involved caring for pets abandoned because of the war.
So I have one of my Canadian pins on there that I pinned.
Now in the capital city of Kyiv, Rudy is experiencing the reality of a war zone firsthand. Russian attacks have been escalating, including a major air attack on the city this past Saturday. She was outside Kyiv at the time. Now she keeps a go bag ready in case she needs to take shelter.
But I need to do what I'm here to do, and I need to help out however I can help out. When you're walking and hearing the air raids, it brings a different sense of nerves to you.
She's now waiting for her next assignment.
With the war going on, you can't always predict everything that's going to happen. You go to where is most needed.
She says she's ready for whatever comes next, committed to helping people who share her Ukrainian roots and moved by the devastation many families have faced.
It's really sad for me to see so many places that people have just left because they had to. There was like a full family using this house, and this was what they called their home.
Rudy hopes others will also consider helping, whether through donations to Ukrainian Patriot or other aid organizations, so support for people in Ukraine can continue. Carla Shankaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A group of Saskatoon employees doing their part today to help youth mental health. Graham Construction launched Graham's Monumental Ride, a stationary bike relay. It's the first of 8 events raising money for initiatives in our community. It comes as Graham is marking its 100th anniversary.
And we wanted it to be an inclusive event so that everybody can participate. So we're using static bikes in the offices, so anybody in our offices and our sites can come into the office and participate. And we're doing it across the whole of our footprint so that we can make sure that everybody can participate.
The initiative aims to raise $300,000. Graham plans to match the funds raised up to $100,000. A recent gift to a Saskatoon-based animal rescue has already made a big difference following the intake of several kittens who were found in an apartment fire. Hallie Mandrick has that story.
This is Dust Bunny. She's a kitten who recently benefited from a generous and potentially life-saving donation to a Saskatoon cat rescue.
This is an incubator which has the ability to also be used as an oxygen tank, and so allows for oxygen-dependent small animals, kittens, to be discharged from hospital when they're still in need of oxygen support rather than having to continue to stay in the ICU.
The Brooder 90 incubator system was recently gifted to SOS Prairie Rescue by a Saskatoon couple who adopted a cat from the organization. The rescue's president says, as a volunteer-run group that relies on donations, resources like this one go a long way.
So much of the time, the resources are dedicated to going right to the animal care versus having some of these expensive tools. So, it really changes outcomes and supports us. And as caregivers, it makes it easier on us so we can be more effective and help more animals.
The Brooder 90 recently made a big difference after a litter of kittens were rescued from an apartment fire in Saskatoon, as several of the small kittens, like Dust Bunny, needed a little extra support in their recoveries.
For cats that have had smoke inhalation exposure, it's really important that they get oxygen therapy for at least a first initial period following the exposure, and then as long as they need to help support their respiratory system.
In addition to its use in helping cats suffering smoke inhalation exposure, the incubator can help some of the smallest and most vulnerable kittens who come through the rescue.
Teeny tiny neonate kittens are not able to maintain their own warmth, and they rely on their mother for that. But when they're not with their mom, they don't have the ability to maintain their own body heat. And so this is really instrumental in making sure that neonate kittens are kept warm so that they can survive.
Winiger says it's not common for volunteer-run rescues to have equipment like this one, and they plan to use it well.
It makes things so much easier as caregivers, we're all volunteers and we do this in between our full-time jobs and our own pets and responsibilities. So having those supports just makes all the difference to our volunteers that are supporting the cats.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Still to come, we hear from the Western premiers as talk of Alberta separation heats up. Also, the Snowbirds' last Saskatchewan performance in years proves to be a hot ticket item. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. Canada's Western and Northern premiers pushed through Alberta talks to try to recreate a unified front in Kananaskis. The 2-day conference wrapped up with some tensions between provinces, some uncomfortable discussions, but a goal to set Canada on a path to economic certainty. Tyson Fedor with the details.
It was a smile for the camera for Canada's western and northernmost premiers as a 2-day summit in Kananaskis wrapped up.
We had a productive discussion sharing successes and lessons learned.
This conference would not include Alberta in the future if Albertans vote in favor of having a separation referendum and the Leave Confederation side wins. BC Premier David Eby and Premier Danielle Smith have had a strained relationship over pipelines and the MOU signed by Alberta and the Prime Minister.
I disagree profoundly with Premier Smith's referendum. I think it is a huge mistake. And Premier Smith disagrees with me profoundly about issues related to a pipeline to the North Coast and the North Coast tanker ban. That's okay.
And to race the actions of BC premiers going all the way back to Christy Clark to set up barriers and try to derail our economic infrastructure to the coast.
As a sign of a Team Canada approach, Premier Eby gifted the premiers of Yukon, Northwest Territories, Manitoba, Saskatchewan and Alberta with a Team Canada Soccer World Cup jersey ahead of next month's tournament. BC Premier David Eby has railed against Smith's separation plebiscite, calling separatists treasonous.
I remain incredibly anxious, frankly.
It would be a disaster for the Yukon if Alberta were to leave Canada.
2 weeks ago, an Alberta court threw out a separation petition due to the failure of the province to consult with First Nations on the question, even though it was a citizen-initiated petition. That caused friction with Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew and Smith.
But we want to make sure that we have a very clear understanding of what the duty to consult really means and what it doesn't mean. And I think at the moment there's a lack of clarity on that.
It is not up to the petition gatherers to fulfill the duty to consult. It is up to you as the Alberta government to fulfill the duty to consult. Why don't we hold off on this referendum talk for a year or two and see if we get these pipelines under construction?
For political watchers, the meetings were a clear sign that federal cooperation can work, despite the tensions between leaders.
This is the essence of democracy at its best, where those disagreements are frank and fraught sometimes, but that they yield agreement.
And here's what Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe said today on how the 2 days of meetings went.
And so I have had conversations at the Western Premiers Conference in years gone by and the Council of Federation Conference in years gone by about putting forward motions in that theme to actually change the Constitution. That was the only way that we saw as possible to get the changes that we needed with the current leadership that we have. Today, that's different. You can pick up the phone and you can talk to the Prime Minister. And I don't think there's anybody here that feels that they can't.
Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault's time as a Liberal MP is coming to an end, according to multiple sources who have spoken to CTV News. Guilbeault previously resigned from Cabinet, citing the government's shift on climate change policies. And as Mike Couture tells us tomorrow, he's expected to walk away from federal politics.
Prime Minister, Mr. Guilbeault, has he told you about his future, sir?
Prime Minister Mark Carney sidestepped questions about his former minister, who will soon become his former MP. After nearly 7 years on Parliament Hill, Stephen Guilbeault confirmed to CTV News that he is quitting politics. He's expected to make it official at the Liberal caucus meeting on Wednesday.
I really appreciate his work, his advocacy, and I'm fully respectful of his decision.
Now, last year, Guilbeault resigned from Cabinet after the federal government inked a memorandum of understanding with Alberta with a plan to build a new pipeline. The further rolling back of Trudeau-era environmental policies was seemingly the breaking point.
I'm a good friend of Stephen.
Industry Minister Melanie Joly says past policies on climate change weren't perfect.
We've seen the good impacts of that policy, but we've seen also the downfalls. And we need to be able to do both. We need to make sure that we bring Albertans on board.
Guilbeault's departure comes as more than a dozen Liberal MPs wrote to the Prime Minister last month, expressing concerns over policy changes like the new industrial carbon price in Alberta.
I believe many others are questioning themselves, and they should stand up and leave that party if they do believe the environment is important.
Are you worried about losing a majority over environmental policies and some resignations?
No. The leader of the Green Party worries the Prime Minister has changed.
I don't find that there's anything left, whatever it was that I thought Mark Carney cared about relating to the climate crisis. I no longer find any traces of it in his policies.
Liberal Nate Erskine-Smith is also stepping down, while Jonathan Wilkinson has been appointed as the ambassador to the EU. The three departures will eventually trigger more by-elections, which could affect the Liberals' thin majority. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada is bringing in stricter measures in response to the Ebola outbreak in parts of Africa. The outbreak has resulted in more than 220 deaths and over 900 suspected cases. Starting Saturday, all travelers will be assessed by border officials. Those who have symptoms will be transferred to hospital for further assessment. In addition, some travelers from Ebola-affected regions will be required to self-isolate for 21 days. Immigration authorities are also temporarily suspending decisions on applications from the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan and Uganda. The Public Health Agency of Canada says the measures are being implemented out of an abundance of caution and will stay in place until August 29th. The last Saskatchewan performance before the Snowbirds' Tudor Jets are retired has sold out. The team is in their final season in their current form. Ottawa has announced that a replacement turbojet aircraft will eventually see the team return to the skies. But the Moose Jaw Show on July 11th will be the Snowbirds' last public performance in the province with the Tudor fleet. Organizers say the sellout comes in record time after less than 2 days on sale. They are cautioning people to watch out for scammers trying to sell fake tickets online.
Sometimes you don't want a new truck. You want the old truck, the one that you learned to drive on. I'm Carson Walliser, and I'm part of the Red Truck at Dancing Sky Theatre in Meacham. We run May 22nd to June 7th, and tickets are available at dancingskytheatre.com. It's just a short drive down the open road. What's the weather going to be like?
Well, your next performance, Carson, is coming up on Thursday. I suspect you know that. Curtain is at 7:30, but the open road looks like it's going to be pretty nice because it's going to be sunny and 35 degrees at midday. By the time we get to showtime, it'll be closer to 30 or 29 degrees thereabouts. And then we've got it. Once again, I just remind you that dancingskytheatre.com is where you can go for more information and tickets. And again, the curtain is 7:30 on Thursday for this week's selection of shows. Now, on to our hot temperatures, and they are hot, and it is windy. 29 degrees right now in Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and the Battlefords, and wind gusts in Saskatoon up to 50 kilometers an hour. The same situation for Prince Albert. The Battlefords, wind gusts up to 70. It is breezy out there, to be sure. Saskatoon's Almanac, 30 degrees for a daytime high. 20 is typical for this time of year, so 10 degrees above seasonal. The record, though, did not fall. That was set in 1919. That was 33 degrees, -4 the record cold temperature from 1947, and the sun is going to go down at 9:10.
Coming up, when learning language starts at home, what a show made in Saskatoon is hoping to teach all generations.
Experts say producers should make some major headway this week. Wednesday on Your Morning, we are getting the latest crop report from the Ministry of Agriculture on a hot week here in Saskatchewan.
Okay, let's take a look through the live lens of Skycam, and as you can see, a few clouds out there, but of course you can't see the heat, but it is hot and it is windy. You can't see the wind unless, of course, you're W.O. Mitchell. But let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our satellite and radar shot here. So once again, we can see where this ridge is in place, and so a lot of the active weather coming up out of the U.S. of A. into Alberta and British Columbia, sort of arching over Saskatchewan. What's at play right now, for the most part, is a big area of high pressure, as I mentioned, and it is just simply hot, and some of that heat is being funneled up from the USA. Keeping our eye on this line of storms that is sort of puffed up into the southern Saskatchewan. We're seeing if there's any severity associated with that, because we do have a lot of heat and thunderstorm warnings in play right now. So certainly watches and warnings in effect. 29 degrees right across the board, Saskatoon and Prince Albert and the Battlefords, and yes, it is windy. The hot spot in the province, Val Marie at 36 big degrees, south end the cold spot at -1. Currently it is 29 degrees in Swift Current and Lloydminster and Regina, 30 in Moose Jaw and Estevan, 26 in Yorkton. Into central parts of the province, temperatures ranging from a somewhat cool, but it's probably comfortable, 23 degrees in Hudson Bay, up to 31 degrees. That's in Rosetown. It's 28 in Meadow Lake, 27 in Nipawin and Wynyard, 26 in Waskesiu. Up north, 14 degrees in Collins Bay, 13 in South End, but it warms up to 25. That's in Buffalo Narrows, 22 in La Ronge, and 20 in Sandy Bay, Island Falls. And down south, as you can see, temperatures are quite hot in Southland as well. 32 degrees in Maple Creek, 30 in a number of other communities. The coolest temperature on this part of our map, 27 degrees in Broadview, and that's not particularly cool at all. Okay, now on to our futurecast. So you can certainly see those pressure lines staying close together, so we do anticipate another windy day in store. And as far as active weather goes, once again, that high pressure ridge steering most of the active weather up through Alberta and across the northern extreme part of Saskatchewan, so it's not really impacting as much of our province as it might in other places. Right now, with watches and warnings, we do have a few thunderstorm watches in effect, but there are some warnings rather in place in and around the Gravelbourg area, and of course everywhere you see there in red, that is a heat warning. That means temperatures in the mid-30s during the day, and at night not getting down to much the basically mid to high teens. So that's what triggers those warnings. Chance of some showers tonight or rather tomorrow in Stony Rapids, 22 degrees. Otherwise a little bit warmer in La Ronge, Buffalo Narrows, and Key Lake. And as we take a look at west central Saskatchewan, temperatures in the low 30s, and it's going to be a windy day in Spiritwood and Kindersley. A similar situation in parts of the southwest, temperatures of around 32 or 33 degrees, and 33 is the number for Regina and Moose Jaw, 34 for Estevan, and into those high 20s, low 30s for east central Saskatchewan tomorrow. Lots of places that are going to be dealing with wind, and that includes the Battlefords overnight into tomorrow. Tomorrow's high 31 degrees, and then staying in the 30s until we get to Saturday and Sunday, where it drops off because of some thunderstorm activity, or at least a risk of it, and a chance of showers for Prince Albert. Dropping down to 12 tonight, 31 tomorrow, wind gusts up to 60 tomorrow, 36 degrees on Thursday, 34 on Friday, 31 on Saturday, and 29 on Sunday. And Saskatoon's overnight temperature, we've got ourselves 15 degrees with mainly clear skies and windy conditions, partly cloudy conditions, but boy, it stays windy tomorrow. 33 for a high, and then 36 on Thursday, 33 on Friday, and 29 on Saturday. Sunday, a little unsettled, and 26 degrees with a chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm.
In the city, remember you used to drive a Yukon.
Justin Bieber set a new American Music Awards record last night, becoming the first musician to win Best Male Pop Artist 5 times. He already held the record with 4 previous victories. He first won the award, previously named the favorite rock pop male artist, in 2010. Bieber entered this year's ceremony in Las Vegas with 4 nominations, including Artist of the Year and Album of the Year for last year's Swag. The win brings Bieber's career total to 19 American Music Awards, tying him with the late Kenny Rogers for the second most wins by a male artist. The late Michael Jackson remains the leader among men with 24 awards, and in case you're wondering, the overall champ is Taylor Swift with 40. Jim Henson's Creature Shop in New York is drawing back the curtain and allowing fans to take a look inside. The Creature Shop was founded by Jim Henson himself, and tours will allow fans to meet a puppet builder, see a puppetry demonstration, and take photos and videos with some of Henson's most iconic characters. Tickets for the tour are $150 a person. A 4-legged movie star is in the spotlight at the Cannes Film Festival. Yuri is the winner of this year's Palm Dog Award, the most anticipated unofficial prize for the festival for her role in the Chilean drama La Perra. The film is about a woman living on a remote island who adopts a puppy, while the festival's top award is the Palme d'Or, and it's been handed out since 1955. The Palme Dog was first awarded in 2001. Yuri's prize was a red collar with Palm Dog written on it in gold.
All right, Jeff, time for Pick of the Day. What do you got?
We have a triple hit, and we're going to start off with this one. This one comes to us from Lori Dawn, and Lori says, "Sailors take warning." That's right. The ice is gone, and this is from Green Lake in the early morning. Thank you, Lori Dawn. Next one is from Ann Schmidt, and she says, "Hi, Jeff. My tulips finally bloomed." That's a beautiful flower. She sent us a couple of pictures, but we like this one the best, nice and bright. So thank you, Ann. And finally, from Dan in the Handle area of Saskatchewan, Dan writes, "Just having a gander for my mate." Oh, we saw what you did there, Dan. So thank you for sending those images in. And if you'd like to send us an image, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca. And please put pick of the day in the subject line, and you can scan the QR code if that's easier for you.
Still to come on CTV News, teaching others on the small screen, how a show produced in Saskatoon hopes to promote culture and language learning.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center's citywide food drive continues until the end of the month. Contact the food bank to find out how you can get involved. The third annual Pollinator Celebration and Native Plant Market is taking place on the grounds of Buena Vista School on Sunday from 1 until 4. You can submit your community event by visiting our website, ctvsaskatoon.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Greetings, everyone. Indigenous languages are more than tools for communication. They're also used to express culture and a unique worldview. That's what a new show premiering this year hopes to showcase, bringing the Nakota language in a new, fun way to young viewers and young learners. CTV's Hallie Madrick tells us more.
Nakon Ia. Speak Nakota.
Nakon Ia with Kushi is a new children's show intended to help restore the Nakota language, which has fewer than 100 fluent speakers left.
To help save and preserve the language as we're going, as well as to help pass it on. It's just incredibly important that we do this, and it starts in the home. It starts with children, with the generation that we have now, right?
Produced at Saskatoon's Bamboo Shoots, Nakon Ia with Kushi features knowledge keeper Teresa Owatch and her puppet companion Kushi, who speaks in Nakota. The 13-episode series is designed for kids aged 5 to 9, but Owatch says it's truly for the whole family.
For our language to survive, we need the parents to start bringing it into the homes and not just in the schools. We need it in the homes, and this is that opportunity to do that.
While Genero has worked on many TV shows and films throughout his career, a children's show is a first for the director, and he says a lot of attention has gone into the details.
I'm watching heavily on what that tone is, matching the tone from, the shot before, thinking about the next shot, making sure that, we have that tone. And I want the tone to be like a big, warm Nakota hug.
The director added that this project is a first of its kind.
It's all in Nakota. And you know how special that is, because I'm watching something that has never been done for the first time, right? And being able to direct that is such an honor.
Owatch says there's a lot of optimism behind this project.
We're hoping that this is gonna blow up the Nakota. We're hoping that every home and every child, whether you're First Nations, Mexican, Italian, that you're speaking the language. That's what we're hoping for.
Nakon Ia with Kushi is currently in production, and the team behind it is hopeful for the show to hit television screens this winter. For Indigenous Circle, I'm Hallie Mandrick.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
When we come back, a new position for a former Riders player, and later, when getting a bite of cheese is a slippery slope.
All right, time to take a look at our rural forecast for tomorrow, and not surprisingly, it's going to be hot. And also not surprisingly, it's going to be windy in many places. Some places just breezy, but other places wind gusts will be up to the 60, in some cases 70 kilometers an hour, so it's going to be a hot day. Everybody where I'm standing and looking over there, 30, and it doesn't really get that much colder by the time we make our way towards the eastern side of the province. 29 for Wynyard with windy conditions, sunny and breezy in Hudson Bay, and 28 for a high, so still pretty warm in that respect. And as we make our way down to southern Saskatchewan, north and south of the Trans-Canada, as you can see, just about everyone on this part of our map is at 30 or warmer. It's 29 in East End and Cypress Hills area, 28 in Kenora. Otherwise, it is straight up hot, and we won't be surprised if there's heat warnings in effect for tomorrow and probably the next day as well. Let's check in on Buchanan. 30 degrees tomorrow for a daytime high. Once again, a very windy day expected in the Buchanan area. And also want to let you know that on Saturday, it's the big community garage sale that's going on, and trade show as well. So that's going on in Buchanan. 30 degrees, as I mentioned, and of course, Buchanan is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from Sasktel.
A player with the Saskatchewan Roughriders who recently hung up his cleats has transitioned with the team as a coach. Here is Donovan Mace with more on Micah Johnson's new role.
Second down and 10 from the 26. Pressure. Micah Johnson has it.
It didn't take long for Micah Johnson to go from lining up on the defensive line to coaching it.
Obviously, the opportunity presented itself, and for me, it was just a matter of playing for another year or two like I know I could, or just, you know, at some point just getting ready for that transition to the next phase.
After a 12-year Hall of Fame caliber career came to an end this past offseason, Johnson says he already felt like a coach by the time he hung up the cleats, making the transition into his new role nearly seamless.
I've always been a leader every room, so for me, that part, that's the easy part, that's the natural part.
I've had some great coaches like Cornell Brown, Mace himself. Micah Johnson's up there, man.
Johnson was already a veteran when he and Mike Rose became teammates in Calgary in 2018, joining forces again in Saskatchewan last season. And the passing of more than a decade of football knowledge hasn't stopped.
He's trying to make us not robots. I think the biggest thing is he's trying to make us have some free will, have the ability to make a play, and having the confidence to make a play.
It's very key when you want to win games, right? You want to be that team that's undefeated, right? So we're going to actually identify the fish that's on the offensive line and then, put your best guy on him.
And while Johnson has settled into retirement, there's still a few lingering habits still hanging around.
The preseason game, he's still got his headphones in, like he's getting hyped still, like, hey, you ain't playing, but that's just who he's always been and how he is, and that's how his group's going to be wired.
It's a lot of little things like that I got to break myself of, right? Just that energy before games, just like, yeah, you can chill out, right? All you're going to be doing is signaling.
Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon is $1.75 a litre. The lowest price in town is $1.67.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco jumped to $1.70 today, and Nutrien finished the day at $96.66. Coming up, when a popular competition gets rolling, then trolling for unique artwork.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV starting at 7 with the CTV movie Rogue One, a Star Wars story. All right, we want to take you to a rather unique way to get your hands on some cheese.
It was crazy. I think this was my most controlled run ever.
The Cooper's Hill cheese rolling competition was held yesterday in England, sending thrill seekers and cheese enthusiasts down a slippery slope. They were following a wheel of cheese. This event dates back approximately 2 centuries. But
seriously, massage therapists and chiropractors just must make out like crazy after this.
They should be wearing helmets, though.
Well, probably.
Probably.
The fact that it's still going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I got this cheese. Oh, what's with that leg? Oh, it's broken. Yeah.
Perhaps there's technique. You roll into the trees and then it hurts less. I don't know.
I don't think that would be the good thing. It's like, I hit a tree. That's good. That's my strategy this year.
All right. Well, this is an unusual scene as well, but it's neat. A Danish sculptor known for hiding giant wooden trolls around the world is now bringing his creations indoors for his first ever museum exhibit.
And I was like, if I tell a story that combines them all, then when I've done this in 10 years, then I will probably have made over 100 sculptures. And then the project itself will be so spectacular because I have made the world into my stage.
Thomas Dambo started building these larger-than-life figures from scrap metals and materials in 2019. Since then, his work has grown into a global project with nearly 200 installations hidden around 19 countries. Inspired by Scandinavian folklore, his pieces also carry a message encouraging people to reuse waste and see value in discarded materials. Each one is built from items like wooden pallets, old furniture, and whiskey barrels.
What do they mean by hidden? It's like, hey, I'm hiding this giant thing in your yard. Yeah, I can see it. It's like, yeah, but it's hidden.
Well,
okay.
Maybe there's a tree beside it.
Maybe it's a Danish idea of hiding things. I don't know. So, good night. It's going to be hot. Going to be windy.
All right, thanks.